Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my Demon Slayer KIMETSU no YAIBA read-through. We're going to be reading through chapters 125 through 133, which makes up volume 15 of the series. Oh boy, I cannot wait because I've been looking forward to this. In the last chapter, in chapter 124, it ended with Genya, not Genma, Genya, throwing pretty much a full-on tree at Hantengu because, Tanjiro was doing what Tanjiro does best, shouting at a demon to take responsibility for his actions rather than, end the fight. And Genya, see, he's gonna mess me up. Genya says, "Get it together, moron!" and throws a tree at Hantengu as he's running away. And that ended volume 14. Now let's get started with volume 15 with chapter 125. Chapter 125, Dawn Approaches. Dawn approaches. Kanroji has been using a lot of big moves, so her strength won't last much longer, and the demons will flee at dawn. We must hurry. And then Genya throws another tree at Hantengu. Just die already, come on! Get a clue! And both Nezuko and Tanjiro are surprised to see Genya just throwing trees. He just threw the tree. And Hantengu looks back and is suddenly surrounded by trees, by the trees that Genya threw, and it surrounds him. They all land around him and cage him in one spot. And Nezuko comes jumping in with Hantengu screaming out, and she swipes at where Hantengu is, but Hantengu, in his little miniature form that he's assumed, he is lightning fast and just goes running off in the opposite direction, screaming his head off. Genya says, "He's so fast, what's up with him? I can't keep up!" And Hantengu is still screaming. And Tanjiro thinks, "He's so fast, geez, he's gonna keep running forever. But before dawn arrives and before Kanroji gets crushed, we're not gonna let that happen. We won't let you win." And then he feels a pain in his leg because remember, it got crushed by that one demon that flattened him, that flattened where his leg was. So he hasn't fully recovered from his ankle and leg being crushed where it was. It's no use. I can't stay on my feet. I wish my left leg wasn't hurt. And then a thought pops up in his head saying, "In thunder breathing, you focus on your legs." Oh wait, this is Zenitsu saying this. In thunder breathing, you focus on your legs. Surprisingly, we don't have a clear grasp of our body's dimensions and the shapes of our muscles. Only by being conscious of all of them do you truly achieve total concentration. That's what my old trainer always said. Circulate air to every fiber of your molecules. Why did I say molecules? Zenitsu still speaking. Circulate air to every fiber of your muscles and to every blood vessel. Build up the strength in your legs. Build it up, and it shows Tanjiro's muscles building up on the inside, like an X-ray view of his leg. And let it go in one blast that cuts the air like a thunderclap. And in that moment, Tanjiro achieves Zenitsu speed momentarily, surprising both Nezuko and Genya, and immediately is behind Hantengu, who was so far beyond them, running away from them, but Tanjiro immediately just closes in on him and starts to cut into the neck of Hantengu with Hino Kamikagura. Go, this time with all my strength. And Hantengu starts speaking, aside from constantly screaming all of these chapters. Don't you feel sorry for me? And then Hantengu immediately grows to a large size and grabs the face of Tanjiro. You shouldn't pick on the weak. And he starts squeezing and choking Tanjiro. But Genya comes up and starts to pry the fingers of Hantengu off of Tanjiro's face. And Genya says, "Enough with your excuses, you fool!" And Hantengu prepares to scream, like I guess do the sonic scream at Tanjiro. Then all of a sudden, there's a splurt sound. And it is Nezuko, who has jumped behind Hantengu and has set him on fire with her own blood demon art. And he immediately goes up in flames, giving Tanjiro enough time to break away from him, with Genya ripping both of Genya with his specialization in strength, ripping both arms of Hantengu straight off. And then Genya remembers, oh no, I'll get burned too because I ate demon flesh. And it shows... Is that Nezuko? Is that Nezuko? Because here's the thing, Hantengu's body, which has grown to giant size, well, not giant size, but, you know, twice the size of Tanjiro, it goes toppling off a mountain, and Nezuko is hanging on as well, along with Tanjiro, because he was still there. And Genya, who has assumed his regular form again, no longer black eyes like a demon, screams out, Tanjiro! Because Hantengu and Nezuko landed on the ground with a massive wham. Tanjiro! Nezuko! And then we see Nezuko and Hantengu on the ground. And Hantengu immediately starts walking away. He still has Tanjiro's sword in his neck, but both of his arms are gone. And he thinks to himself, this is bad. My regeneration is slowing down. Zohakuten is using too much strength. So is that the name of the little kid amalgamation demon that is up there facing off against Kanroji right now? You know, Mitsuri. Zohakuten. Zohakuten is using too much strength. I must replenish it with human flesh. Humans are nearby. I can feel it. Yes, I will. And then Tanjiro, who is caught up in a tree on the side of that same cliff they fell from, says, stop! I won't let you get away. You can run to the depths of hell, but I'll follow you, and I'll cut off your head! And then Hantengu looks in front of him, and he says, there, humans! One of these three kids is a demon. What a pain, it's always something. That kid's sword got stuck in my neck, but it didn't cut through. First, I'll power up by eating those humans. And Tanjiro falls to the ground, and he sees Hantengu, and he immediately starts to try to move towards him. Hurry, do it quick, one more time. Oh wait, this Tanjiro's thinking this. Hurry, do it quick, one more time. I'll use total concentration to kick myself up. And as he's saying this, something zooms in on Tanjiro and lands directly in front of him. It's a sword. It's a Nichirin sword. Huh? A sword? Use it! Oh, it's Genya. I guess, did Genya throw his sword to Tanjiro? It's... No! No! That's not Genya! That's Yo, that's Muichiro! Use it! Use that blade, Tanjiro! Give it back! Knock it off, I'll kill you! Don't use it! It's only been sharpened to the first stage! But dawn is near, he'll get away! Stupid brat! Yo, it's the sword that Haganezuka has been sharpening this whole time. And he's strangling Muichiro for taking the sword and giving it to Tanjiro. But dawn is near, he'll get away. Stupid brat! And Haganezuka slaps Muichiro. Tokito, thanks. And then, in a massive boom, in a massive display of speed and flame, we see a gah come from Hantengu, and we see a blade go through his neck. And in an instant, with a brand new move called Dancing Flash, Tanjiro finally beheads Hantengu. And that is the end of chapter 125. All right, onwards to chapter 126. Chapter 126, Daybreak and First Light. And it begins with Han Tengu's body falling over, starting to fall over. Dawn is breaking. This open ground is dangerous. And Tanjiro immediately starts making his way towards Nezuko. Nezuko, run! Yeah. And he's thinking this. He can't talk. I can't talk. No, Nezuko, don't come this way. You're the one in danger if the sunlight strikes you. Then the body of Han Tengu doesn't fully fall over. And I guess Nezuko notices something? Nezuko, run! Get into the shade! And she's trying to get his attention, saying, And he looks behind him, and he sees that the humans that Han Tengu was going after, the headless body is still going after them. Ah! Run! Run! He's not dead even with his head cut off! And then he looks over at the head of Han Tengu, and the head is still there. And we see his tongue, and apparently it has the kanji for resentment. The kanji for resentment? I thought the main body was fear. The character on the tongue is different. I messed up. I gotta finish him off. And then the sun starts to come over the hill, and it starts to burn Nezuko. Ooh. And Tanjiro sees that Nezuko starts to burn up in the sunlight, and he immediately goes to shield her. As the sun starts to fully come up. Nezuko, shrink! Make your body smaller, shrink! And she slowly starts to shrink in size. It's this bad even when the sun isn't fully up? And then he looks over in the direction of the humans that were over there, that were being chased by the body of Han Tengu, and he thinks, this is bad. Someone help! Genya! Tokito! There's no way they can get here from the top of that cliff. Oh right, the sunlight affects that demon too, but it doesn't matter, he'll get those villagers first. And if I try to carry Nezuko, I'll never catch him. It's no use, I can't decide. I can't. Then Nezuko kicks Tanjiro off of her as her body starts to burn in the sunlight, and she just looks at him with like smiling eyes. You know the eyes of when a character says like, sorry, I won't be able to do this again for you, but they smile with their eyes. She does this to him, and Tanjiro rights himself with tears in his eyes. Sniff him out. He hasn't run far. If the main body were far away, I'd have known by the smell. He's close. But where? I can find him by the scent, the shape, and color. And then he sniffs and smells Han Tengu. There. He's still inside that demon. I see. Closer. Look closer. More. There he is. Inside the heart. So apparently, Han Tengu is still small. He just hid himself in the heart of the big body, Han Tengu. He is literally inside of the heart of the big Han Tengu body. This is the end for you, you cowardly demon. You devil! And then as the humans who are getting grabbed by the big Han Tengu body start screaming out, it's no use! He's caught us! Tanjiro appears in front of the body and cuts off the arms. Now you pay for your sins with your life! And Tanjiro says this, but his eyes look completely different than what they normally do. They look like red. Here's the thing. The mangas, there's no color in them. But it's like his eyes are just burning with rage. And the flame-like pattern that used to be a scar, and the scar that was on his head now turned into like the flame-like pattern again. And I guess we're cutting to Han Tengu's past. Why would you steal from someone, especially someone who was so kind to the blind? I cannot forgive Master for pretending he didn't know. I'm going to the magistrate. It's not my fault. My hands are to blame. What am I seeing? My hands moved on their own. It seems you've committed murder, and thief in other towns too, so there's no room for mercy. Absurd. It's impossible for me. After all my eyes. I think you can actually see. And you say your hands are to blame? In that case, we'll cut them off. When a masseur came to this court before he faced the wall until I began talking. No matter what you say, the facts won't change. Silencing me is futile. And I guess this is Hantengu's pass. And here's when Muzan Kibutsuji came in saying, "It would be a shame if they beheaded you tomorrow, so I will help you." And apparently some other, the magistrate who accused him was saying, "No matter what you say, the facts won't change. Silencing me is futile." Is this my life when I was human? Is this? The time will surely come when you pay for your sins with your filthy life. Is this my life passing before my eyes? And here it shows Tanjiro not only cutting through the massive Hantengu body, but also cutting straight to the heart and beheading Hantengu right then and there. And then the body of Hantengu just evaporates right then. And the swordsmen from the town, from the village, all stand around him. And the sun is rising in the air. What about Nezuko, though? And Tanjiro's thinking, we won, but we lost Nezuko. The sunlight consumed her. Even her bones are gone. And one of them says, Lord Kamado! Lord Kamado! Lord Kamado! Lord Kamado! And, I'm sorry? What? Nezuko is fine. What? 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 I'm sorry. What? What? Now, mind you, this is my first reaction to all of these chapters. I have no idea what goes on with Demon Slayer past what I read. Nezuko is in the sun, and she's fine. Bruh! I'm sorry, I'm just stuck at looking at Nezuko just standing in the sun. She's a demon, but she's standing in the sun. How is this possible? How is this possible? Rhetorical question, do not tell me. And Tanjiro just has tears in his eyes looking at Nezuko, and she says, good morning. And that's the end of chapter 126. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. More! I need more! That was the end of chapter 126. Onwards to chapter 127. Bruh! Chapter 127, The Rumble of Victory. And we have Tamayo. We have not seen her in a while. Tanjiro, you've provided me with blood from the 12 Kizuki and Nezuko. Thank you for aiding in my research. The boy that Muzan turned into a demon in Asakusa has returned to normal. This is thanks to Nezuko's blood. He's free from Muzan's control and can live on just a small amount of blood. The transformation in Nezuko's blood surprises me. Over this short period of time, the composition of her blood has repeatedly changed. What? So Nezuko's blood is constantly mutating and changing? For some time I have been thinking about why Nezuko hasn't returned to her old self. And remains in that childish state instead. It could be that something else is taking precedence for her, something more important than reclaiming herself. Tanjiro, this is just a theory, but I think Nezuko may soon be able to withstand sunlight. Yo, Muzan made a mistake turning Nezuko. I believe Muzan is the one who turned Nezuko and pretty much slaughtered all of Tanjiro's family, but in doing so, well, actually, that's pretty obvious that's what Muzan did. I'm pretty sure that was established earlier. But in doing so, it's something about Nezuko that made it so that, one, She cannot be controlled by Muzan, and 2, she has learned to withstand sunlight. Bruh! Oh, that is the hotness right now. Nezuko, I'm so glad. Are you all right? Are you human again? I'm happy. I'm fine. I am happy. She's talking, but her eyes and fangs are the same, but she still hasn't returned to human form. Thank you both for what you did for us. It would have been tragic if Nezuko had died. No, it really is great. You didn't get turned to dust. And then Tanjiro immediately hugs her. I'm so happy, so happy, so happy that you're all right. And then Nezuko just smiles and says, me too. And then the villagers who were there with them just start crying too. They're all crying too. And then we see Genya finally make it to where Tanjiro and Nezuko are. And he smiles. Bruh, this is the first time I ever seen Genya smile. And it's genuine looking. That's great, Tanjiro and Nezuko. And Tanjiro falls over. Whoa, he's had enough. Hang in there, Kamado. Is he dead? You idiot. I'm so glad. And then cutting back to the forest, we still have Mitsuri facing off against, the tree dragons. And, crap, I forgot that demon's name. Facing off against the demon that was going up against her right now. Oh, wait. And it looks like the dragons are about to bear down on her, and she says, I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry, but this is killing me. And then before the dragons can actually hurt her and hit her, they all start to turn to dust. So Tanjiro pretty much pulled an I am Iron Man and managed to save, like how Rocket Raccoon was about to be eaten by that Leviathan. Well, before Mitsuri was about to be, hit by this tree dragon, Tanjiro snapped on Tengu and all related abilities towards him out of existence, and now she's saved at the last possible second. And then it shows the little kid demon disintegrating as well. Whew, I'm saved. Tanjiro and those guys must have cut the head off the main body. And then we cut to the house where Muzan Kibutsuji, who has, assumed the form of a little kid, he's in his room, and multiple books are around his floor. I feel like he knows that he's just lost another upper ranker, and he's possibly furious because we don't see his face. But apparently the mother of whoever this little boy was, whoever this little boy was a son to, comes in saying, oh dear, what's wrong, Toshikuni? Or Toshikuni? You've made quite a mess. Oh. And no, he's not furious. He's excited? He says, there's finally one who has overcome the sun. Good work, Han Tengu. Well, at least you're having fun, and the moment the mother says this, her head is gone. Are you talking about a book, you? And before she says anything, well, at least you're having fun. Are you talking about a book, you? And then before she finishes that sentence, her head is just gone and her body falls over. And the maid who was with her with some tea and I guess some food for, Yoshikune, she just says, Huh? Ma'am? What happened to your head? What? Huh? I no longer need to search for the blue spider lily. It took so long, but this is it. This is why, for 1,000 years, I've been creating demons, even when I didn't want to. It's a rare condition that never even appeared in the 12 Kizuki, the chosen demon. And then, as he says this, Muzan Kibutsuji changes form directly in front of this woman and says, I can conquer the sun too if I ingest that girl. And the maid screams, saying, ah! Murderer! Monster! Monster! Master! And before she can even get out of the building, Muzan pretty much just obliterates her entire upper half. And then, yo, we get his backstory! The one who turned Muzan Kibutsuji into a demon was a physician living in the Heian period. Muzan was going to die before he turned 20. The physician worked hard to give him a little longer to live. But even so, Muzan flew into a rage over his worsening condition and killed him. However, he discovered that the doctor's medicine was having an effect because a change occurred at the moment of the murder. Muzan gained incredible strength, but there was a problem. He could no longer walk under the sun, and he somehow knew he would perish if he was struck by its light. Muzan craved human flesh, and didn't mind solving that by eating people. But the humiliation of having his activities curtailed during the day infuriated him. He desired a body that would not die in the sun. He examined the physician's medicinal formula, but it was still in the testing stage. Muzan did not know how to make the medicine known as blue spider lily. It seemed to require an actual blue spider lily flower, but he did not know where it grew nor how to cultivate it. That information had died with the doctor he killed. No matter where he searched in Japan, it was nowhere to be found. Muzan became obsessed with his search for the blue spider lily that granted immortality and the ability to withstand the rays of the sun. And now that Nezuko has conquered the sun, and this is Muzan speaking, and now that Nezuko has conquered the sun, I foresee a massive battle with her at its center. Bruh. So that's the reason why he was looking for the blue spider lily, to withstand the effects of sunlight. But now that Nezuko has shown that she is able to withstand sunlight, Muzan now wants to get Nezuko for himself so he can eat her and gain the ability to walk out in the sun. And if Muzan does that, he's pretty much going to be unstoppable, because he's already overpowered as it is. But we have Muichiro coming in saying, are you alright, Tanjiro? Tokito. I'm glad you're okay. Thanks for the sword. Thank you too. Thanks to you, I got back something important. Huh? No, I didn't do anything. And then we have Kotetsu chiming in saying, but how is Nezuko? And then someone is running up saying, hey everybody, hey! Oh wait, is this Mitsuri? This might be Mitsuri. Hey everybody, hey! Well, about that. Guys! Yay, we did it! We won! We all won together! Isn't that awesome? And then Mitsuri just hugs everyone, making Genya really nervous and red in the face, but I guess being hugged by Mitsuri. And we're alive! I'm so glad! And Nezuko says, yes, me too. And that's the end of chapter 127. Onwards to chapter 128. Yo, things are getting real good. Chapter 128, a request for instruction. And we got some exposition here. The swordsmith village was hastily relocated and rebuilt. Come nightfall, the demons would come again. Despite an attack by 2 upper-ranked demons, the village's defenders kept the damage to a minimum. Right, I forgot about Gyoko completely. But yeah, not only has Muzan Kibutsuji lost 1 upper ranker, but he's lost 2. So the numbers of the upper rankers are steadily dwindling. There's only like, what? A handful left? Despite an attack by 2 upper-ranked demons, the village's defenders kept the damage to a minimum. There was no time to mourn those lost. The demons would not wait. And even in the shadow of death, the world never stops turning. And Tanjiro says, yes, that's right. They're moving their base. And he's talking to one of the Kakshi named Goto. We have several empty villages prepared, so we can move quickly if anything else happens. Is it okay to eat so much when you've been unconscious for a week? Uh-huh. Kanroji said she eats a lot too.
Yeah, she's a little weird. I heard the Hashira of Love and Mist slept for 2 days and were almost completely recovered by the third.
Yeah, impressive, huh?
You're catching up to them bit by bit,
Goto thinks to himself.
Anyway, if it helps you heal faster, it's all right.
Huh?
I'm just glad everyone is alive. But this is what I wanted to ask the most important. I heard something incredible happened to your sister. Is she all right?
Yeah. She's out walking around in the sun now. Isn't that crazy? Like, seriously nuts.
What will become of her now? What's her condition?
They're examining her, but they still don't know whether she's returning to human form or evolving as a demon.
Lady Kocho is looking into it?
No, Tamayo is.
Who's Tamayo?
All right. He's never explained who Lady Tamayo is. Actually, did he? No.
Who's Tamayo?
And that's when Tanjiro realizes he said too much.
Hey, don't eat so quickly. You're still recovering. Take it easy. Anyway, where are the 3 shrimps and your little sister?
Aoi isn't here either. That was close.
Aoi isn't here either.
That was close, thinking that because he almost choked on his food after realizing he spoiled about Tamayo's existence. With no core members in critical to condition to look after, they've all been playing around with Nezuko. Thanks to that, her speech is slowly getting better.
Really? Then everything is peaceful. But that'll change when that yellow-headed guy shows up.
Huh? And Nezuko... Oh, it's Zenitsu. And Zenitsu just immediately screams out. And it causes Aoi and the other girls to cover their ears. Except for Nezuko, because Nezuko is strong.
Be quiet!
And Nezuko says, "Oh, welcome back.
You're so cute I could die! You're so cute I could die!
And Aoi says,
"Then do it already!"
And then Zenitsu starts going off saying, "What happened, Nezuko? You're talking. For me? Was it for me? Did you do all of this for me? I'm so happy. Will we finally get married now?" Slow your roll, bruh.
Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else,
says Aoi. "You look so lovely under the moonlight, but you're irresistible in the sunlight too. It's wonderful.
Get away from her.
Marry me and I'll feed you sushi and eel every day. It's fine. Let's get hitched." And then Nezuko just says,
"Welcome back, Inosuke."
And then everyone just stops dead in their tracks. Those were not the words that Zenitsu wanted to hear come out of Nezuko. And then Zenitsu goes mad with rage, walking away with, like, his eyes are pure white. He's biting into his lips so hard that it's bleeding. And he's got his fists clenched, thinking to himself, "Where is that guy? I'm gonna kill him." And then Aoi says,
"Don't say violent things."
And then we have some we have the reason of why Nezuko says, "Welcome back, Inosuke." For the past 2 days, since they were wounded and came to Butterfly Mansion, Inosuke has been trying to get Nezuko to say his name. "Inosuke, Inosuke, 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 Boss Inosuke, Boss Inosuke." He kept saying it over, "Inosuke, Inosuke, Imosuke." Oh, wait. He was saying, "Inosuke,
Imosuke,
Inosuke, Inosuke,
Imosuke,
Boss Inosuke,
Boss Imosuke."
That's all this time. Inosuke has been teaching Nezuko to say his name. That's why that's the only name she can say right now. And now we're cutting to the rest of the Hashira on this day at Ubuyashiki Mansion. Yashiki. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's not Yakshi, it's Yashiki. Ubuyashiki Mansion. I am so sorry, everyone. I've been saying it wrong this whole time, ruining your experience. My bad. On this day at Ubuyashiki Mansion, the Hashira held an emergency meeting. The Wind Hashira, Sanemi Shinazugawa, I'm so jealous. Why don't I ever get to face any upper rank demons? Serpent Hashira, Obanai Iguro.
You can't control it, but nearly everyone is running into them. Kanroji and Tokito, how are you guys?
Love Hashira, Mitsuri Kanroji.
Oh, right. I'm much better, thanks. Oh, he's worried about me.
And finally, the Mist Hashira, Muichiro Tokito.
Me too. Although I'm still not my full self.
Then we have the Stone Hashira, Gyome Himejima. If we lose any more Hashira, the Demon Slayer Corp will be in danger. However, it's good that they defeated 2 upper-ranked demons and survived. Then we have the Insect Hashira, Shinobu Kocho.
You two healed unusually quickly this time. What happened?
And then we have the Water Hashira, Giyu Tomioka.
I suppose the master will tell us about that too.
And then we have the Master Ubuyashiki himself.
Thank you for waiting so long.
Oh wait, that's not Ubuyashiki. That's his wife. I think. Yes, it's his wife.
Thank you all for waiting. Thank you for waiting so long. I am Amane Ubuyashiki, and I will represent Kagaya Ubuyashiki at today's Hashira meeting. Due to Master Kagaya's worsening illness, he is no longer able to appear before you. He extends his heartfelt apology.
Wow, it's getting worse. And when she finishes saying that, all the Hashira immediately bow before her. And Gyome is in front of everyone. Is he the de facto Hashira leader as of this moment? Because it used to be Rengoku who we would see as the de facto person who would be in front of all the Hashira, but now it's Gyome? And remember, Gyome is the massive big guy who's always crying and we never see the colors of his eyes. He's the one with the prayer beads and the always bulging veiny arms.
Understood. I pray from the bottom of my heart that the light of the Master's life continues to burn even one day longer, and that Lady Amane's spirit remains strong.
And then she bows her head, saying, I am deeply grateful to all the Hashira. I believe you have already heard, but a demon has appeared who can withstand the sun. This means that Muzan Kibutsuji will come for her with renewed vigor, so that he too may conquer the sun. We'll soon find ourselves in a full-scale war. I have received reports that Kanroji and Tokito manifested marks with distinctive patterns during the fight against upper ranks 4 and 5. I would like them to tell us about the conditions that caused the marks to appear.
And then this surprises both Tokito and Kanroji, because she's like confused, like, marks? Because I bet they had never noticed that a mark appeared on their body. But Lady Amane said,
during the Sengoku period, the swordsmen who nearly defeated Muzan Kibutsuji using first breathing all manifested marks similar to demonic patterns.
And this surprises the rest of the Hashira.
You may have heard such tales, but now you know that they are true.
Gyome doesn't say anything. And then Shinazugawa comes in, I'm going to call him Sanmei. Sanami says, this is the first I've heard of it. Why was this information hidden?
Because many have tormented themselves over why the marks haven't appeared on them too. That's why. Most of the details regarding the marks are unclear, perhaps because it doesn't seem important at the time. Or perhaps the information was lost in one of the many times the Demon Slayer Corp suffered near destruction. But the only clear records we have say, when the marked one arrives, the mark will appear on others around that person as if in resonance.
And then we have one of the little girls that is next to Lady Amane saying,
those words appear in notes left by a swordsman who used first breathing.
Now, at this time, the first to manifest the mark did not have the rank of Hashira.
She's speaking of Tanjiro!
Tanjiro Kamado was the first marked one. However, it turned out that he had no idea what caused the mark to appear, so he didn't pursue it. But now 2 Hashira have also had this awakening. So please, teach us how it was done, Kanroji and Tokito.
Sure. Oh, at one time, well, my body was super light. Lady Amane is so wonderful. it hit me like, wah, like, boom, fa. My heart and stuff was all like, ba-dump, and my ears rang like ping, crick, crack, pop.
And literally, no one understands a single thing that she says. Everyone just looks at her with wide eyes. Even Tomioka's like, bruh, really? And Sanami is just looking over like, you can't be serious. And Iguro is just having his head on his hand, is like, oh my god.
I'm deeply sorry. I'd crawl into a hole and disappear if there was one.
And then she immediately bows her head, just like Tanjiro. And then Tokido chimes in saying, I wasn't aware of receiving the mark. When I think back to that fight, what comes to mind are a few unusual things. I guess doing those things might cause the mark to appear on anyone. I'll tell you what they were. Yo! Tokido coming in clutch, letting us know that, hey, there's one thing that popped into my head, so this might work. But that's the end of chapter 128, onwards to chapter 129. Chapter 129, to become a marked one. Yo! And now we got the Hashira preparing to be the marked ones. In the recent fight, I was poisoned and couldn't move. I used breathing to slow my blood circulation and the spread of the poison. A boy who tried to help me almost got killed, and my lost memories returned. I was so angry that I couldn't control my emotions. I think my heart rate was more than 200 beats per minute, and my body felt hot like it was burning. And I think my temperature was over 39 degrees Celsius. And this surprises Shinobu, saying, "You could move in such a state? That could have been deadly." You're right. It was like being put through a sieve. Survival is what separates those who manifest the mark from those who don't. And then Lady Amane speaks, saying, "A heart rate over 200 beats per minute. What makes you think your temperature was 39 degrees? Well, once when I was sick at Kocho's mansion, I had a fever, and the thermometer said my temperature was 39. I felt the same way when the mark appeared." And then she looks back, and then Kanroji looks back at Tokido, thinking, "I didn't know." And then Sanami comes in saying, "Can it really be that simple?" And then Giyu chimes in saying, "I envy your simple mind for thinking that is simple." And then Sanami looks over and says, "What?" And Giyu says, "Nothing." And then we have Shinobu chiming in saying, "It's urgent that all the Hachira manifest the mark." And then Gyome chimes in saying,
Agreed. I will achieve it somehow. Please tell our master to rest assured.
And then Lady Amane finishes the conversation saying,
Thank you. However, there is one thing I must tell you regarding training for manifesting the mark.
and Kanroji says,
What is it?
For those who have already manifested the mark, it's too late. Those who do manifest the mark, without exception, will all
what? Those who do manifest the mark, without exception, will all, and then it just cuts to the crows outside. And then Guillaume says,
I see.
but in that case, oh wait, who's saying this? Who's saying this? I think it's Saname saying this. I see, but in that case, what about me, darn it? And then Giyu says, since Lady Amane has left, I'll excuse myself. And then Sanami chimes in saying, hey, wait, don't be rude. We have to decide what we're going to do. And then Giyu says, the six of you should talk. I'm not involved. And then Iguro chimes in saying, what do you mean you're not involved? You don't take being a Hashira seriously enough. Or do you just want to skip the meeting and start your training? And Giyu just walks away. And Mitsuru's all like, And Sanami says, wait, you! And Shinobu chimes in saying, explain yourself, Tomioka. As usual, you say too little. Then Giyu says, I'm different from you guys. I'm not buying that. You said the same thing once before, Tomioka. Do you look down on us? And then Sanami stands up. And Mitsuri says,
Don't fight. Stay calm.
"Stay where you are."
No, don't.
And then we see Gyomei clap his hands together. And it is a massive clap that gets everyone's attention. And Gyomei says,
Sit. Sit. Let us continue talking. I have a proposal.
whatever energy and power that Gyomei has, it is enough to cause everyone to stop moving. But now we cut to the butterfly mansion.
Ah, Hagane Zuka, your wounds are healed. Good.
And then it has Hagane Zuka huffing and puffing massively.
No, you aren't all right.
I guess Hagane Zuka ran all the way from where he was to give Tanjiro the sword that he was, sharpening all this time.
Oh, a katana. Thanks. But this is Rengoku's hilt.
Wait.
This is Rengoku's hilt. Thank you for protecting Kotetsu.
And then Goto pops up and says, "Please, sit. Are you all right?" And Hagane Zuka is still huffing and puffing as he sits down. He's like, blade, the blade. Let me see. Let me look. And Tanjiro takes the sword out. And it's got a very nice design to it. It's like flame-like patterns down it, but the black. It's apparently Tanjiro says, "Whoa, incredible! The black is deeper." And then Hagane Zuka goes on to explain, "The steel and quality are good, so the former bearer must have been a strong swordsman. The kanji for slay. The swordsmith who forged this katana made it for destroying all demons. He didn't engrave his name or anything else, just that single character. The ranking system began later, and only the Hashira received swords engraved with KIMETSU."
Really? What an incredible weapon.
And he's saying this, but Tanjiro is shaking from this revelation.
But when I used this during the fight, I didn't see it had that character on it.
And Hagane Zuka is silent, and then he says, "That's because it had only been polished to the first stage, but you guys took it and used it. It was still a little rusty. I wanted to kill you. Sorry. Even now, that pain hasn't fully healed. That's why I've been weeping. Oh, the pain. It's unbearable. I was interrupted so many times while sharpening it, I had to start all over again. Sorry." And Goto is just watching all this happen, saying, "This kid's wounds are just as bad. He's got broken bones all through his body." And then Hagane Zuka ignores him, and he looks at Tanjiro saying, "I'll kill you!" And Goto says, "Didn't he hear me? Listen, Tanjiro, now you owe me a lifetime supply of Mitarashi Dango. You got it? Right, got it. Thank you very much. Get well soon." I'd heard rumors, but he's really feisty. He was pretty calm today. He must really be in pain. Seriously? Why are you being so noisy? Oh, it's Genya. Oh, sorry, Genya. We're done now. Sorry for the noise. And Inosuke comes crashing through the window directly in front of Goto. Gah! Ah, Inosuke, what are you doing? You broke the window. Are you stupid? Lady Kojo will kill you. Shut up. And then Genya's just laying over, covering his ears like, "I want a different room. Stronger, stronger, stronger. Group strength training starts now. They said something about strong guys gathering for lessons or something. What's that about? I don't know."
I see.
And that's the end of chapter 129, onwards to chapter 130. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 130, A Place to Be. And in this cover art here, I know I don't talk about the cover art all that often. We have the wives of Uzui just preparing food and a whole bunch of rice balls together. One day I want to try just genuine Japanese cuisine. Like, I want to try out ramen with, like, the big piece of egg and the big piece of meat inside. I want to try rice balls. I want to try kibidongos. I want to try just genuine Japanese food because I feel like I might really like it. I'm hungry now. Dang, I'm hungry now. Gotta finish. We got exposition now. The special training began. It was called Hashira training. Those ranked lower than the Hashira trained with them one after the other. Hashira usually didn't train anyone but their Suguko proteges, simply because they were too busy. In addition to providing security for large regions, the Hashira had many other responsibilities, including gathering information on demons and training to further improve their own skills. However, after Nezuko conquered the sun, demon appearances stopped completely. What? Bruh, the fact that Nezuko was able to withstand the sun. Which means, most likely, Muzan is preparing his own forces. Because the less demons there are, the less likely he's able to wage war against the Demon Slayer Corp. So I feel like, bruh, this is some serious news. However, after Nezuko conquered the sun, demon appearances stopped completely? It was like the calm before a storm, but as a result, the Hashira could do their security activities at night and focus on training during the day. That's what I heard. And I guess that's Zenitsu talking about this. Really? That's amazing. It's not amazing at all. It's awful. It's hell. Who thought up such a thing? They should just die. Sparring with someone ranked higher than you is a quick way to improvement. When you face a stronger opponent, you absorb it and get stronger yourself. If you like the idea so much, then you and I are no longer friends as of right now! And as Zenitsu says this, he's biting on top of Tanjiro's head. Ow, 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 ow! It's okay for you, you're still healing, so you get to just sleep all warm and cozy. But I have to go to train I have to go train now! Do you know how that feels? Sorry. Oh, Zenitsu, I forgot to say it, but thanks. Don't speak to me! No, wait. In the fight against that upper rank 4, when I could barely stand, I used a trick you taught me from thunder breathing to cut off the demon's head. Of course, I couldn't do it as fast as you, but I'm truly thankful. That's how connections with other people help you get through tight spots. So everything you learn in Hashira training will pay off for you in the future. And then then Zenitsu takes the comment and starts smiling like Chopper does when anyone gives him a compliment in One Piece. You jerk, don't think saying that changes my mood. He perked up. Good. And then a crow comes straight in and pecks Tanjiro on the head. Gah! I'm bleeding. What did you do that for? That's mean. A letter from the master. Read it right away. Yo, please, without me, no one can do anything. And this is a shot of Zenitsu skipping outside of Tanjiro's room, just gushing over the compliment. A letter? For me? He went to all that trouble? Wow, wonder what it is. And then someone is speaking to all the people who are, I guess, training with the Hashira right now. You're late. What are you doing? I don't get you guys. For one thing, you're completely out of shape, even when it comes to simply running. If you're this slow, beating an upper rank demon is just a pipe dream. Enough. Stop licking the ground. It isn't break time yet. Get back to running. Hashira training first trial. Total losers. You're worthless. Total losers. Hashira training begins with grueling basic physical fitness workouts with Uzui. Whoa, that's Uzui! I didn't even recognize him for a second there. Wow! I completely did not realize that was Uzui right then. I should have realized from the eye patch over his face, but that's Uzui. Hashira training begins with grueling basic physical fitness workouts with Uzui, followed by lessons from Mitsuri Kanroji and hellish flexibility and Muichiro Tokito and high-speed movement. Next comes swordsmanship with the Serpent Hashira, then lessons in making infinite strikes with the Wind Hashira, and strength training with the Stone Hashira. Sparring with core members one after another for hours on end should further improve the Hashira's physical strength as well. If this raises the heart rate and body temperature, making it possible to manifest the mark, that would also be ideal. Those who already have the mark trained to maintain their mark condition, And immediately, and here it shows the people who have the mark it shows Tanjiro, Muichiro, Nezuko, and Mitsuri. Those who already have the mark train to maintain their mark condition, and immediately sharing what's been learned among all Corps members, raising the overall strength of the Corps itself in preparation for the coming fight. Except for one man, and it zooms in on Gyo Tomioka. Excuse me, Tomioka? Hello there? Pardon me? Gyu, it's me, Tanjiro Kamado. Hello? Well, I'm coming in. Coming in? No, he must mean he's leaving. I must have misheard. And Tanjiro just pops inside of Gyu's place. Anyway, that's how we were all training. I know. Oh, you knew? Good. And Tanjiro's leg is still healing. He has a crutch to get around. In 7 days, I'll have permission to return to active duty. Will you give me lessons? No. Why not? You smell a little angry. What are you mad about? I'm angry that you didn't fully master water breathing. You were supposed to become the water Hashira. I'm sorry about that, but I talked to Urokodaki. He said that it isn't unusual to change the breathing you use or to give birth to a new style, and that water breathing technique are especially close to the basics, so they give rise to many new styles. Don't say that. There's currently no water Hashira. Someone must fill that role as soon as possible. There's no water Hashira? What about you, Gyu? I'm not the water Hashira. I'm sorry. Then what Hashira is Gyu? Now go. Tanjiro, how are your injuries? And I guess this is Master Ubuyashiki talking to him through his letter. Tanjiro, how are your injuries? Unfortunately, I'm unable to move. I want to speak with Gyu, but I don't think I can. This is an incredibly important time. We must all come together and do our best. Would you please talk to Gyu? He always turns his back and goes it alone. Help him face forward. Will you be persistent when you talk to him? I will. Tanjiro took the master's words at face value. He hung around Gyu night and day and talked all the time. What's wrong, Gyu? Gyu, what's the problem? He talked ceaselessly. Gyu was perplexed. Would this go on for the rest of his life? If he spoke to Tanjiro, then would the boy leave him alone? And it even shows Tanjiro outside of the bathroom, still trying to talk to Gyu. 4 days later, Gyu gave in. And Gyu says, I haven't passed final selection. Huh? Final selection? At the mountain with wisteria flowers? That's right. That year, there was a boy like me who had lost family to the demons. His name was Sabito. Oh! He knows of Sabito! He had flesh-colored hair. We took the final selection together. We were both 13 years old, the same age and alone. We quickly bonded. Sabito had a strong sense of justice and was a kind boy. He was also the only one to die in final selection that year. He killed all the demons on that mountain almost single-handedly, and yet everyone but him passed. I was injured by the first demon that attacked and I fell into a daze. Sabito came to my aid. He entrusted me to another boy and left in the direction of voices calling for help. The next thing I knew, final selection was over. I had somehow survived the 7 days of final selection and passed, but can you really say that someone who hadn't defeated a single demon and had to be saved by someone else actually passed? I'm not worthy of becoming the water Hashira. I can't even stand shoulder to shoulder with the Hashira. I'm different from them. I don't deserve a place in the Demon Slayer Corps. Yo, this dude, the entire time that he's been with the Hashira all this time, he doesn't see himself amongst the Hashira simply because he doesn't see himself worthy to stand alongside them. Because he never truly passed final selection. And this fills Tanjiro with tears in his eyes.
Have a Hashira give you lessons? Have a Hashira give you lessons. That would be best. I won't manifest the mark, although Sabito might have. Don't bother with me anymore. It was a waste of your time.
And that's the end of chapter 130. Onwards to chapter 131. Chapter 131, Visitor.
I bet Giyu wishes that he died. I understand so well it hurts. When someone dies, someone who is so important, that you wish they'd live instead of you, and they died protecting you. It feels like you're being ripped apart. Sabito was the boy who trained me on Mount Sagiri. It was a mysterious experience. Those two were supposedly already dead, but they helped me. I understand Sabito went through final selection together with Giyu. If he'd survived, he'd be about the same age as Giyu is now. They're really incredible. At final selection, he saved everyone. I couldn't do that. I was too busy defending myself. If Sabito had lived, he would have become an incredible swordsman. That must be another reason why Giyu thinks it would have been better if he had died instead. I understand because I thought the same thing. Rengoku protected us at the cost of his life. He was an incredible person. He was kinder and stronger than anyone else. He was amazing to the end. I thought that it might have been better if I'd died instead of Rengoku. That Rengoku might someday have been able to defeat Muzan. But then he remembers back to when Inosuke says, "He said he believed in us, so don't worry about anything other than living up to that." Yeah, that's right. But what should I say to Giyu? No matter how wretched or ashamed you feel, you have to keep living. Giyu doesn't see it himself, but he has to become a Hashira. He must have driven himself hard, struggled on his way up, and suffered a lot. I don't know much about Giyu, so I won't criticize him. But there's one thing I must ask no matter what. Giyu? He won't stop. Giyu! Don't you want to make use of the gift that Sabito gave you?
And then immediately, Giyu stops. And then he remembers memories of him with Sabito, because I guess Sabito hit him in the face.
Sabito?
Don't you ever say that you wish that you had died again. If you do, we're through. I won't be your friend. Your older sister was getting married the next day. And yet she hid and protected you from a demon. You and no one else, so don't disrespect her death like that. You better stay alive. Your sister sacrificed her life to save yours and give you a future. So you must carry on living, Giyu.
That hurt, Giyu thinks to himself. I remember the shock and pain of Sabito striking my cheek vividly. Why did I forget that exchange with Sabito? It's important. I didn't want to remember because my tears would never stop. When I did remember, I was so sad that I couldn't do anything. Sutako. Sabito.
I guess Sutako must be Giyu's sister.
I'm sorry I'm so immature.
And he just bows his head. Uh-oh, he isn't reacting at all.
Oh no, was I too mean? He already seemed pretty depressed. Did I just make things worse? I know. Maybe we can have an eating contest. And if I win, he has to cheer himself up and train me. I still don't have permission to return to active duty, so he can't spar. He doesn't like to talk, but you don't need to talk during an eating contest. It's a great idea.
And then Giyu looks over at Tanjiro and says,
Tanjiro, I'm late. I have lessons too.
Hey Giyu, want to have a soba eating contest?
Why?
And then it just cuts to Giyu having an eating contest with Tanjiro. He's all like, why do you want to have an eating contest? And then immediately has one with him. More narration. The Hashira training continued at full force with Giyu's participation. Meanwhile, we have Shinobu here, and she's walking through her mansion. And she looks kind of mad and upset a little bit.
Be calm. It's all right. Help me calm down. Only the immature can't control their emotions. So I guess I'm immature.
And she's doing her best to hide her mad face, but, you know, like the mad, angry vein marks are appearing over her face.
Master, you're back,
says Kanao.
I'm going to train with the Wind Hashira.
I'm going to train with the Wind Hashira.
Oh, can I train with you after the Stone Hashira? I can't participate in the Hashira training this time.
Huh? Well, why not?
Kanao, come here.
And she sits in front of her.
I want to train with you more, Master.
And then Shinobu's face lights up and she smiles.
Kanao, you've gotten much better at speaking your mind. It is a good sign. So now is the right time.
Right time.
Let's talk about how to kill the demon who killed my sister Kanae.
You. And now we're cutting to someone sitting in a building. This looks like Tamayo. She's sitting in a building by herself, writing, I think. And we have a crow coming in saying,
Good evening, Tamayo. It's dangerous to leave your window open at night. Still, the moon is beautiful. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kagaya Ubuyashiki's messenger.
but since this is Ubuyashiki's messenger, I'll give him a better sounding voice. Good evening, Tamayo. It's dangerous to leave your window open at night. Still, the moon is beautiful tonight. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kagaya Ubuyashiki's messenger. You're very good at hiding. While I was trying to find you, my master lost his ability to move.
How did you know I was here?
I followed a human trail. I identified the former owner of this house from whom you bought it. And then, during the day, I took control of Yushido's sense of sight. I have some training, but I'm just a crow, so no one is that wary of me. Relax, I have no intention of harming you two.
Then what is it you want?
I understand why you're suspicious. It will be tough to win your trust like Tanjiro did.
What are his intentions? Is Ubuyashiki trying to trick me? Where is Yushido?
There's no need to worry about her. See? You can hear her running. Wait, there's no need to...
What? Hold up! Wait, isn't Yushido the dude?
Where is Yushido? There's no need to worry about her. See, you can hear her running. I am so confused.
Yushido's a dude, though.
Ain't he?
Or have I been wrong?
There's no need to worry about her. See, you can hear her running. Now, let's discuss my business. There is a child in the Demon Slayer Corp who is also knowledgeable about demon physiology and pharmacology. We'd like you two to study Nezuko's transformation together. Will you work with us to defeat Muzan Kibutsuji? Come to Ubuyashiki Mansion, please.
Go to the Demon Slayer Corp hideout? Even though I'm a demon?
Wow, what a proposition. And that's the end of chapter 131, onwards to chapter 132, and then one more chapter after that, and then we're done. This might be a little bit longer than the last one. Chapter 132, Full Strength Training. Tanjiro has fully recovered, and he's fully participating in the Hachida training he longed hoped for. And he has a lot of scars on his body, a lot more than I originally remember him having. Then again, we don't normally see Tanjiro shirtless, so there's that. And then we have Uzui. Hey, long time no see. I heard you fought an upper-ranked demon again. You're lucky to still be in one piece. Now let's knock that sluggish body awake.
Okay, I'll give it my all. Oh my, you finally came. Eat up.
And all the wives of Uzui have prepared food for everyone. After about 10 days, he got permission to go to the site of the next Hashira, Muichiro's mansion. Yes, that's it. You're faster than before, Tanjiro. Make your muscles transition from tense to relaxed smoother. Good, like that. That way, your physical strength will last longer. The movement of your legs and hips flow perfectly. You can go on to the next Hashira, Tanjiro. Wow, it used to be where Muichiro did not acknowledge Tanjiro whatsoever. Now he's happy to be around Tanjiro. It's all like, dude, I'm happy to train you. Move on to the next Hashira with a big old smile on his face. That's just the effect that Tanjiro has on people. Huh? Already? Yes. But it's only been 5 days. Well, you're performing exactly as I told you. Huh?
We've been here 2 weeks, so can we also?
What are you talking about? Not you guys. After you finish working on your swing, you have lessons in striking until the practice dummy breaks.
And they all just glare at Tanjiro a little bit.
The difference between us is incredible.
Kanroji's mansion.
It's good to see you, Tanjiro. Come on in.
Long time no see. I'm glad to see you're looking so well.
You too, Tanjiro.
Do you keep bees? I smell this pleasing scent of honey.
Oh, you noticed? That's right. If you put honey on your pancake, it's insanely delicious.
I want pancakes, even though it is currently 1:45 in the afternoon. I want pancakes.
And slather on the butter. And slather on the butter. Slather on the butter. Tea is at 3. I'll make pancakes, so look forward to it.
Butter? Tea? Pancakes? Why would you put said pancakes in a panel for me to stare at? How dare you? I'm hungry right now. Raw honey and pancakes? That's it. I'm eating pancakes tomorrow for breakfast. For Kanroji's training, everyone wore these outfits. They're literally wearing leotards. And they learned to dance to the music. They are literally going through ballet training. But the flexibility exercises were hell. It was mostly stretching via brute force. You know, causing dudes to do the splits. You know, when for us dudes, it tends to be painful when it's done by force rather than us steadily go into it. This dude is just screaming out in pain. And then we have the snake Hashira, Iguro.
Tanjiro Kamado, I've been waiting for you.
I'm looking forward to...
Shut up or I'll kill you.
Huh?
I heard about you from Kanroji. She says you had quite a lot of fun in training.
The two exchanged letters.
I won't go easy on you like Kanroji did.
From the very start, he totally hates me.
I'm going to have you swing your sword while avoiding these obstacles.
Yo, he's gonna have Tanjiro swing his sword while he has pretty much the rest of the trainees bound in different positions around the room. Is this an execution chamber? Did these people commit some sort of crime?
Yes, that's right. The crime of being weak, the crime of not learning, the crime of being a pain in the butt, and the crime of irritating me.
Oh, this is bad. And so the extremely horrible training began. I used a wooden sword, but hitting them would still cause great injury. Iguro's attacks weave between those poor core members. It's really dangerous. Because of his style, his attacks bend in strange ways. And it shows Iguro striking Tanjiro in a way that allowed him to hit Tanjiro between two people and weave his body through it. And he hits Tanjiro straight in the chin, I think. He has a wooden sword like me, so why does it bend so much? His attacks slither through narrow openings just like a snake. What makes it even harder is I can hear their voices when I aim between them. Please, 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 please don't hit us. I can really hear them, and it breaks my heart. My hand shook with nerves like never before. If I'm not incredibly accurate, it'll be a disaster. And it shows him accidentally hitting one of the core members in the shoulder. But after 4 days, I was able to strike more accurately than ever before. I could dodge Iguro's blows and launch my own attacks too. When an attack struck and cut the hem of Iguro's haori, he said my training was over.
All right, die, you scum. And don't get too friendly with Kanroji.
Oh, is he? Oh, does he have a thing for Kanroji? I was sad that he still hated me. Thank you. And then it shows Tanjiro walking through one of the alleyways of the hideout of the Demon Core grounds. Was Shinazugawa's dojo this way?
No, go right at that corner, bird brain.
Oh, that's where we turn right. And then Zenitsu is immediately directly in front of Tanjiro's face. Like, he's not there before, and then he's just there. Like, he flash stepped, like he teleported in front of him. Ah! Ah, Zenitsu! Help me! Help me escape, Tanjiro! Tanjiro! Why? I can't take it anymore. It's impossible. Escape from what? I finally ran away. I crawled up the fence and disappeared like a lizard. My life is in danger. They'll kill me! And then, all of a sudden, a big old hand just grabs Zenitsu by the head. And it is Shinazugawa. It is Sanemi.
Choose. Return to training or die.
Have mercy! Ah!
Silence!
And then he just knocks out Zenitsu.
Carry him.
Okay. Sorry, Zenitsu. Let's do our best. Long time no see. Today I start training with you. I'm looking forward to it.
Don't get carried away. I don't like you.
That's totally fine. I don't like you either. You stabbed Nezuko. And he just continues walking forward past him. Like, okay, that's fine. You don't like me. I don't like you either because you stabbed my sister. And just walks past him with a big old cheese on his face. It's all like, I don't like you either. Like, I love Tanjiro and his nonchalant attitude.
Of all the nerve.
Shinazugawa's training was so grueling that I understood why Zenitsu got like that. It was a simple striking exercise where I would attack Shinazugawa. Each session continued without rest until I vomited blood and passed out. Even Iguro gave me more breaks. Huh. When he woke up, Zenitsu cursed me like I had slain his parents. And it just shows Zenitsu. It just shows Zenitsu beating up on Tanjiro. Shinazugawa was especially hard on me. If I lost concentration for even a moment, I get seriously injured and end up back in recovery. And it shows that Tanjiro has multiple injuries over his body, like his face is swollen up, his hand is swollen up. That was pretty bad for a first day. I was a mess, covered in vomit and almost lost consciousness. And almost lost confidence. Sanemi, wait! Sanemi, wait! Genya's voice. I want to speak with you.
You don't give up. I don't have a little brother. If you don't knock it off, I'll kill you.
And then Genya's just speechless at this. And that's the end of chapter 132 as Tanjiro just looks on. Onwards to the last chapter, chapter 133. Chapter 133, welcome.
Don't talk to me all friendly like. And from what I've seen, you have no talent. Just quit the Demon Slayer Corp. Someone who can't even use breathing shouldn't call himself a swordsman. But...
And then Sanemi just walks away from Genya. Wait, Sanemi! I wanted to apologize to you for a long time. You can do it, Genya. Don't let him win.
Seriously, I don't care. So get lost.
And then Genya just looks at him with confused and hurtful eyes, saying,
But I fought so hard. I even ate a demon.
And then this stops Sanemi, whose eyes go bloodshot and fill with veins, and he stares at Genya.
What? What did you just say? A demon? You ate one?
And then it shows Sanemi disappearing from sight, and then Tanjiro screaming out, Genya! And Genya's all like, he disappeared. And it shows, I guess, 2 fingers aiming for Genya's eyes. And Tanjiro manages to save Genya from being poked in the eyes at the last possible seconds, even though there's a small scar, a small cut going across where his eye, underneath his eyes, as Tanjiro tackles him into a nearby room, saving Genya from having his eyes gouged out. And they both topple outside in front of Zenitsu. Yeah! He's back! He's back! So cold-blooded! Get down! Pretend you're passed out! Huh? Tanjiro? Huh? He'll kill you too, Tanjiro! Why are you breaking the wall like that? Stop! Says Tanjiro.
What is that tortured and ominous sound? And then it shows the aura of Sanemi walking out of the building. Ah! That guy's on a rampage! And I'm gonna get pounded even when I'm not training? What are you doing? Do you want to kill Genya?
I won't kill him. That'd be easy, but it's against core rules. I'll damage him beyond recovery instead. However, if he quits the Demon Slayer Corp right now, I'll forgive him.
Knock it off! You don't have the right to do that. You can't force him to quit. Didn't you say earlier you don't have a little brother? Then keep your mouth shut about what Genya chooses. Whether he has talent or not, he decided to risk his life to fight demons. If you say you're not his older brother, then I won't let you interfere with Genya. If not for him, we wouldn't have defeated that upper rank demon. And I won't let you hurt him beyond recovery.
Oh, then first I'll hurt you beyond recovery.
Here he comes. Here he comes. And then it shows Sanemi walking towards Tanjiro and then shows him directly in front of Tanjiro's face. And then Sanemi just gut punches Tanjiro with enough force to lift him off the ground. Ah, Tanjiro!
This kid just stopped me.
Yo, he didn't get the gut punch. Tanjiro caught the punch. He caught the punch. You see this? You see my boy Tanjiro's muscles bulging. He caught the punch and then delivers like a spin kick to the neck of Sanemi. Whoa! He got in a blow! But then Sanemi throws him on the ground. Zenitsu, get Genya out of here, please! Hey, are you some kind of idiot? Don't say my name, moron! Signal some better way! Tanjiro! And it shows Sanemi kicking Tanjiro. But Tanjiro manages to narrowly dodge it. He just grazed my ear, but he cut it with a kick.
You've got some nerve. It seems you want to die, so I'll kill you just like you want.
Wait, Tanjiro has nothing to do with this. And then it shows Genya being pulled away by Zenitsu. Who are you? Let me go. It's good to separate people who are quarreling, so let's get some distance. That guy's your older brother. He's a total freak. I pity you. Don't insult my big brother. And then Genya just punches Zenitsu. Hey, I'm on your side! After that, it was just a big mess. The brawl continued until nearly evening. A scolding came down from above. Training with the Wind Hashira was suspended, and I was forbidden from even approaching him. And I was unable to smooth things over between the Shinazugawa brothers. And I didn't mean for this to happen. The mark isn't clear in training. The mark isn't clear, and training isn't bearing fruit. Actually, it is. You stood up against the Wind Hashira. That's incredible. Oh, really? Anyway, why are you so deep in the mountains? How stupid is the Stone Hashira to have his house out here? I think we're almost there. A waterfall? Someone's there! And it shows... Oh, Zenitsu's there! Thus I have heard in the presence of the Buddha, when in Shravasti at Javatani Vihara. When in Sharavasti at Jetavana Vihara. Whoa! If you extinguish your heart and mind, even fire is cool. And it shows Gyome in a pit of fire with a load of logs on his back being held down by massive stones. And he's just completely ignoring it. Welcome to my training site. And then Zenitsu just immediately gets tears in his eyes and just starts vomiting with the kanji on his tongue reading out, barf. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 133, and thus spelling the end of volume 15, Daybreak and First Light. This has been a reading of the 15th volume of my Demon Slayer KIMETSU no YAIBA read-through. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So, I'm looking forward to what the next volume will bring. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward
to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.